Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're going to do something exciting today in terms of looking at how the living space, whether you're at work, whether you're home, is designed, like the behind the scenes look. And he knows what he's doing. He's fantastic. He's an architect. John Riggio joins us back on the program. John, how are you doing today?
Good. Hello, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. We've never done this before, where we've actually looked at plans and also 3D renderings of your work. And I'm excited to take a look at some of these and actually, if I may, dissect what you do and ask those questions: why you did this, how you move that, what your rationale is. Can we take a look at something you have there?
Yeah, let's go through them. I think let's go through the basic 2D floor plan first. Let me share this with you.
And this is a residence, correct?
Yes, this is a house. It's approximately close to 5,000 square feet. And let's look at the plan. Okay, so now the plan that we're looking at here is the second floor. So let's head over and let's go over to the title sheet. Okay, so this shows the whole side of the house. So this is a new house. You come in here, it's going to have a new circular driveway. A driveway down the side yard goes into a 2-car garage. And then this has a very nice rounded steps in the front and a paver driveway. So this here, so then from there we would head over and we'd go to the first floor. Let me just zoom out. Okay, so then here what we have is, this is the basement area has the superior walls. This is the walls that are manufactured and installed on site, showing the structure of the house. Then the first floor, what happens is you walk up the steps and you have this large entrance area, double doors with windows. Then you come up here, you see it has these 2 floating curved stairs in the middle. You'd walk through and you go to the rear of the house, has a double height room. It's really like a family room with a curved wall of windows. And just to go through the house, starting from the left, you'd enter and you go to the living room. It has a dining room, a kitchen. Then on the right side, you have a meeting room, which is used as a movie theater area. Then you have a bedroom, a guest bedroom, and a regular mud room with the bath coming out of the garage. So then from there, we can head over just to the 2D plan on the second floor. So we see here, so on the second floor, you come up these curved stairs and you have this large hallway. It has some skylights above, and you can look over into the family room, the large double height family room. Then to the left side, you see the master bedroom has a balcony in the front, terrace in the rear, has a full bath, whirlpool, 2 walk-in closets. On the right side, we have the 2 bedrooms with both attached baths. And then the front area, there's a large terrace that you can walk from the hallway across and enter into the terrace area. Then just to show you the roof, it's a basic hip roof. It has some details on it with some skylights. And then from there, let's see, we can just head over to the elevations. So this is the elevations of the house. We're going to use to drive it. We've got some thin brick, thin stone on the house, and regular shingles. We have some roof details on here with some skylights. And so that's really the elevation. So this is some of the things that I have already discussed. I have the arch window in there. I have some of these balconies over here. We have this corner window, and let's see, on the side here we have the raised deck here and the attached garage. So then just to give you an overview of this particular set of drawings. So this is just like some basic details. You'd have the details that I would provide to the client. It has all the basic things you need here. You need the shear walls, the deck, water pump, entrance details, terrace details. Then I head over, I go through some sections of the plan. And then this is the basic riser diagrams. You need your new water piping, basic plumbing, gas riser. And then we head over to some basic electrical panels, have a new electrical panel on the house. And then let's see what else we have here. We have some structural, we have the structural framing on the plan. And see if there's anything else. Okay, and then we were already at this one. Okay, and then this one is some mechanical for the new mechanical system. And let's see, and then we're back with the title sheet. So that is how the plan looks. And I had already discussed a lot of these things about the plan and the drawing. So from here, let's go over to the 3D drawing. So let me show you the 3D drawing now.
And
Let's
before we
head
get there, just a couple of quick questions. But what an amazing house. The two stairways, when you first walk in at, call it the foyer area, what's your reasoning for that? Is it just to give it a very majestic feel?
Yes, this comes from the design process, working with the client,
Okay.
getting an idea of what they like. And from that, we formulated the possibilities of how we can put the stair in, whether we're going to go with a straight stair, curved stair. And this is really the kind of look we worked on. Same thing with the front entrance with the column lines, using like a curved stair. And then on the curved stair, there's also those two side stairs. So you don't have to just walk down the curved stair. You also have these side stairs, and you walk down to this whole entrance area with the driveway there in the front of the house. So that's how it works.
So I did have a question about the driveway, and this is just based on my initial view of that first drawing. When you come up the driveway and you need to make a turn to get into the garage, is there enough space? Like, I guess there has to be, but it looked like it was because you have a grassy area, and then you have the driveway area, and then you make the turn to make it into the garage.
Oh yeah, there's enough room. So I was just gonna put that back on the screen for a minute.
Sure.
Let me just show this. This is okay. So then we head over here, and let's go here. Let's put on the title sheet.
And as you're getting there, I'm kind of curious with this particular.
There's plenty of room in here. Yeah, this is a very large property. It's you see the property is about 200 by 100 in width. It's somewhat large. It's 20,000 square foot property, and yeah, there's plenty of room to back out. You could drive the car in the driveway here, and there's plenty of room to turn the car around and everything. And then as far as the front loading area, you have the circular driveway which comes through, and you really have like two-way traffic in there. You could have a car, two cars in the front of the entrance.
Wow. So for this, what's the status of this project? Are you still working on the design? Is this one a finished one? Now they've approved it. Are we on to construction? Where are we at with it, John?
They are already constructing the whole wood frame of this house. It's nearly finished.
Oh, fantastic. And how much input would you say this client had in the plans? Was this a client that, call it, yeah, like 80%, they wanted this, they wanted that, or with more like 20%, and then it was on to you, and then they made their decisions?
Oh yeah, they're very involved with this job. Yes, my clients came here and we went over everything on their house. So as far as what they need in the house and all the different ideas, it's really, they're very involved with the house. The percentage is very high with their input on the house. And then of course I apply all the different knowledge and current designs that we're doing on the job, and that's how we formulate the whole thing, that it looks standard and it works correctly.
So what would you say is one thing that you recall suggesting when you were working with them on the plans? Like that they gave you ideas and then you said, well, what, guys, you might want to do this. And they said, oh yeah, let's do that. Anything that pops in your head?
Yeah, of course. Whenever they give me any input on the design, I always go through it. I have to go through checking all the codes on it to see if it's going to work. And also from current standards, the other houses that I'm working on in the area, I make everything so it is more standard, that it's going to work correctly. But I think on this job, I think you could see that a lot of it has like a lot of things that are input that are coming from the client.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I use the standards, like all the things like with the curved stair and everything like that are based on going through the design to see if this curved stair is even possible, what's the width of the entrance we could use, and how it's going to really work with the structure. So that's how I make it look. We had already gone through a number of other designs on the entrance and on the house, and we ended up with this design. So this is going to work really good, and it's going to look good in the house and everything like that.
Hmm. Interesting. I do like the upper level where you have the skylights. There's about 4 or 5 different square skylights, rectangle skylights in there.
Yes.
Yeah, let just it's just a nice little touch. And it's funny, until I saw the roof design, I was wondering what those squares were. Like, what is that? And then I figured it out. Oh, those are skylights.
Yes, yes. I think that kind of design where its entrance is open, you go to the back of a family room that's open.
Hmm.
I think it isn't the first design that's like that. There are other houses like that, and I think going through the client, talking to them, a lot of that design know-how is coming from other jobs
Yep.
that I've seen and worked on before. That I know that that kind of idea is somewhat of a design standard. It's worked before, and that's the kind of look that we were heading for as we developed the design of the house.
It's funny because a couple of months ago, I went to a dinner party with a bunch of people, and it was on Long Island, New York. The town was Oldfield, and
Yes.
the house reminded me of that one. I don't recall the double stairs, but without a doubt, when you walk straight through, you have that open area that leads to the top, and then to the left eventually leads you to the kitchen. Similarities, but I had a feel for it. Just looking at your plans, I almost felt like I was there in a couple of regards.
Yes, yes. Yeah, of course, there are other houses that have a similar look to them. And of course, a lot
Mhm.
of houses, they always work the same. Like you'd always have the kitchen, the dining room next to the kitchen.
Sure.
A lot of people like to enter into either going through into like to the family room, between the family room and the kitchen area too. So all those things, a lot of times houses have the same look.
For this particular house, it has a basement. Are they looking to do anything in the basement?
Right now, we're just keeping it open. It has some mechanical uses, some basic utilities down there. They could finish that later on on their own, but right
Hmm.
now we're just going to keep it open.
How many? I didn't count here. How many bedrooms in this house?
Okay, we have let's see, 3 on the second floor and 1 bedroom on the first floor. So it's total 4 bedrooms.
Right. I remember the one, the guest bedroom on the first floor. Yeah.
Yes.
How many bathrooms?
Okay, so the bathrooms we have, let's see, on the second floor we have 3 bathrooms, and on the first floor we have 1 a bathroom and 1 toilet room.
Got it. Yeah. It's seems like a very well thought out, functional house. And even the architecture on the roof, from what I can see, is super cool. So, want to look at the 3D?
Yes, okay, now the 3D house, it is for a different property. This is another house that's already constructed. They're signed off on it, and let me just show you what this looks like. Okay, so what's happening here is this is the 3D software. And let me just exit out of the house here just to show how it looks. Okay, so this is a basic 3D model of the house and rendering. And from this we could take all kinds of different looks of the house. We could have just a top view of the house showing the roof, the entrance area. Then we could head over. We could look around the house through just sort of like this is what's considered a helicopter view. It just goes around, looks at the whole house. Now we have this whole back area is raised concrete. This is all concrete padding, and they're gonna have like a barbecue area back here. This area has a terrace in the back. Then this is the land is sloping. It has some larger windows on this side. We come over here, we have our steps going into the house. Then this is the garage side of the house where you would park on the side, similar to the other house where you drive here, and it has the garage doors facing the side yard. And that is one look at the house. Then from here we can head into the front of the house. We could enter in, do a walkthrough. So say we're here, we're in the lobby, and we see we have our stair over here. We have some entrances, the curved entrance that's going into the formal living room. Then we turn over here, we have our looking into the dining room. And you see, these are some stacked windows together, some custom windows.
So quick question about the arch going into that room. That used to be a very popular style in, let's say, the 70s, maybe the 80s. Is that coming back?
In some rooms, I am showing a detailed arch. Yes, some people like the arch.
Hmm.
Now this here, we enter into the kitchen area. Now from the kitchen, this is the typical area that I was explaining where we have the open kitchen, eating area, and family room. And we have just like a space in the middle. They could put their television over here between the two windows. And so let's go into this room going all the way here. And then we come around, we turn around. And this is looking back on the other side from the family room. You see they have the eating area with the sliding doors, some windows, stacked windows, large window over the sink. And in this drawing, the kitchen is somewhat detailed. And the idea of that is because of this is so you can take this design and you can give it to the kitchen installer, and it helps him put all the kitchen cabinets together and everything, and the fixtures in here. So here we have like all the things like the sink, the range top, the wall oven, the refrigerator. Then this is the item here. You put some bar stools around it, and that's really how it looks. And let's look from here. It's coming around. So that area is very detailed. This I'm showing some ceramic tile on the floor. So when we walk over here, we can head over into the garage. This is the garage area. We have those windows in the front.
Wow.
And then we turn around, we come over to this area. Now we're in the guest room. This is the guest room in the front of the house. And from there, we can head back over to this way into the lobby area.
So I have
So
a crazy question. I just want to throw it to you, John, because you mentioned it in the other house when we were looking at the plans. Why is the guest room traditionally on the first floor?
That's typical thing. Usually the guest room is on the first floor. We usually have one guest room there. A lot of times it ends up going next to the garage. We usually put it over here next to the garage. We get it in the extra bathroom and the closet for the room. And that's usually where it is in here.
You know, it's interesting when you think about the layout and the placement. You know, your guest is not part of your family. They may be, but maybe not. So it's almost as if the family is upstairs and the guest is downstairs, just because everybody has different routines. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that, but I find it interesting.
Yeah, they always like the guest room on the first floor.
Yeah.
It's for some reason that's usually where it's located. That's
Right.
And then I think from here you can see the detailing on the outside. You see this has some vinyl detailing. It's somewhat photorealistic. You see this, it has the lines in there.
Sure.
And then this also has like some details, like you go through coloring all of the different things like the window frames and everything like that. This here is showing some retaining walls. And this here would either get constructed with the alum block or with the poured concrete. And in fact, this one, this wall was constructed with the superior walls. They have their own retaining wall system, so that's how that area was constructed on the house.
Okay,
It's
so
constructed with the foundation.
with that, what's at the top? What's at the top of that retaining wall? Is that concrete, or is that more pavers, or what?
Yeah, it's just some concrete topping. That's about it.
Hmm. I don't think I have ever seen that done before, where you have the pad, called the pad, is made out of concrete, but then
This is one special design idea, and it's because the property slopes from this side, the side with the garage, and it slopes downwards here. So this whole thing with this raised patio is really being used as a retaining wall to stop the water from flowing into their basement. That's really one big design idea of this was really to make this a stepped wall, and that is really how it is working. So it's stepping down here, and this is the ground over here is a lot lower on this side of the house. That's really why it looks like that. Now here you have the thin brick I'm showing here with some drive-it siding.
Nice.
And things like that. And I think with this this here I can head over into here. And then I think it's somewhat realistic with as far as the detailing goes. You see this is the stone And
Mm,
this is like a photorealistic stone on this. It isn't too bad. And you can see right into the house there too. You look right into the
sure.
windows and you see the plants. So it's pretty good. And that's usually how I make these drawings now. This is really new technology that's really been developing over the years. It's really been working a lot better now.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I see on the pad in the back, there's a line going.
Yes,
What is that? Is that a channel for water?
that's the line because there's one foundation that is coming up over here and it's going all the way to the garage. And the other line is a line coming from the back of the house. So those are two like different areas, one that would provide like a planter. So that's why there are two lines in there.
Do you ever or often have a situation? And by the way, we're talking with master architect John Riggio at John Riggio, RIGGIO.com. You ever have a situation where you've designed the plans, the house is under construction, and they come up with a challenge, whatever it might be. You know, either they can't carry out your plans because something happened along the way, and you have to revise the plan during the construction. Does that ever happen? And if so, how often?
Um, there it's a possibility. Yeah, that is really goes under like any condition that is what I would call a problem that arises due to existing conditions.
Right, right.
So every once in a while there is small things like that that might involve revising the drawings, things like that. Yeah, it's that can happen. There's a small percentage of jobs. I think most jobs there aren't any new problems on the jobs or anything existing where we'd have to really adjust anything. Very small percentage, maybe only 5%.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Because, you know, I guess you never know what you're going to find when you're the contractor. You're out there, you know, pipes in a certain spot, you know, gas pipe was here, it was over here, whatever it might be, elevation change or, you know, information was inaccurate, not on your end, but it just, you know, you find these things out when you start digging. Interesting though. That was fascinating taking a look at that. Yeah.
Yes.
You, do you always do a 3D drawing for all of your projects, or is that special?
No, I don't. I do it only on some of the jobs. I usually offer it as part of the package I give them with the drawings if they want it on the rendering, things like that. And I don't do it on every job. Some people just want like certain areas of the house they might want a 3D, maybe like the kitchen or the family room area. And on this particular house I showed you, the house is completely brand new. So this involved showing the details of the kitchen and the overall outside rendering of the house. So you get an idea of how it's going to look.
Yeah. And does the 3D drawing start from the original plans, you know, and then you add to it, or you got to start fresh?
Yes, it is. The 2D plans that I had shown you, you take those plans, you can copy them and put them right onto this 3D software. And then I do a whole thing of drawing on there to get all the 3D features.
Yeah. That's amazing. How detailed has the 3D drawings been in the last number of years? Or is this, you know, we're at a point now very recently where it's that vivid as we saw?
Yeah, the whole thing with the 3D drawings has really changed. I think it's really starting to improve. Maybe like in the last 5 years, things have changed with these 3D models.
How about taxes? When you're designing, is taxes in mind? Because I'll give you a quick example. And I was looking at your website, johnriggio.com. I saw you did a design that had a portico. And for anybody that
Yes.
doesn't know what a portico is, it's sort of a little tiny roof over your front door. So I put in a pool, renovated the backyard. Town came a looking, and they realized, wait a minute, you don't have a CO for that portico. And I mean, I'm like, really? I got to pay taxes on a portico, which again, it's just this roof that's not more than maybe 3 feet on each side that covers where you're going to be standing at the, you know, call it the porch stoop, whatever word you want to use there. Um, I was actually pretty amazed that I had to pay taxes on that. Do you, when you're designing overall, not just a portico, but, you know, in the overall design, does that come into play in terms of working around a tax situation to pay less in taxes in terms of your design? Because
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah. Some
yeah,
clients are concerned about the taxes if it's going to cost a lot, but I think most of the jobs that I'm working on, the taxes are usually calculated by really the improvement cost. So you take the existing value of the house, existing value of the property, then they take the cost of the new construction, they add it all together, they get one number, and you just multiply it by the tax rate. And the tax rate sometimes can go up or down. That's really how it works. The different things, like the different aspects of like adding a certain number of bathrooms and things like that, aren't that big a consideration. I don't think that big a consideration as far as the tax rate and the tax appraisal goes. I've compared some houses over the years, and I noticed they really haven't made that much of a difference depending on the number of bathrooms or things like that. It's usually just the overall improvement costs added onto the existing value of the house, and then that's how they would just calculate the new tax rate.
So I'm kind of curious.
I think if you really had a definite question, you would have to call the tax assessor in the town you live in. They all have slightly different rules. So if you really want to get a definite answer, you'd have to call them directly.
Yep, absolutely. Which is what I learned because I moved into with that particular house, I moved into a new town. So I had no idea, I'll just share, we have a second left. It's kind of crazy when you talk about taxes and it's always on a lot of our minds. They even told me that deck box, like the Rubbermaid deck box, so they're maybe like 3 feet long by, 2 feet high, whatever. If you have a large deck box, they can charge you taxes on that.
Yeah, that would depend on each different town.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Absolutely. I even put up a pergola, which was all open in the roof of the pergola. I bought it at Costco. I could knock it down, me and two friends just go like that. It was just, anchored into the pavers. Had to pay taxes on that. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think the pergola is different because that comes under like accessory structures. Accessory structures, you can have a problem with accessory structures, especially the distance to your side yard and your rear yard and where you put the structure. So yeah, that is a problem. That can develop into a problem where you would have to then get a permit for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the accessory structures are slightly different. That is really something that they are more particular with.
Right. Yeah. And that pergola cost $1,500 at Costco. I still had to pay taxes, but such is life. You have to pay taxes. I find it interesting, in terms of the design and everything. We're just about out of time. This was fascinating. This was really cool to look at. Yeah. And also just taking a look at your work. I've seen plans before, but not on the screen like you did there. Tell everybody your website again, John. And if somebody's listening and wants to work with you, what areas you serve?
Oh yeah, my website is www.johnriggio.com. That's JOHNRIGGIO, and I serve New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
And are you available if somebody's listening anywhere in the country? If they have a,
Yes, I could always give them a design, and if they needed to get a stamp, they could always go to someone, but I could always give them a design and help for something.
Excellent, John. Always a pleasure talking with you, and it's. What you do enhances everybody's lives. If it wasn't for some, an architect like yourself and somebody that's so talented, where would we be living? It wouldn't be as exciting, especially even working as well. And definitely looking forward to getting together with you again real soon.
Great. Thanks, Son. It's good talking with you.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.